Hey everybody, it's Peter, and in this video, I'm gonna answer a question that you guys have been asking me for a long time. So it's a little echoey in here. I meant to film this outside, but I'm inside my garage because it's currently freezing rain outside, which is not motorcycle friendly and not filming friendly. So this is a little bit more of a casual video than sometimes I've done. And I'm gonna answer the question on what I did to put luggage on this bike. So this is the Kawasaki Z900RS SE. I like the look of it. It's designed to look like, and I'm pointing over there because I have pictures on the wall of the original. So it's designed to look like the original, but of course, it's a full modern sport bike underneath. So in other reviews I've done of this, you guys debated whether it looks right or doesn't look right or whatever. I love the look of this bike as it is. I also love that it's a fully modern sport bike. And one of the things I like about this design is it does make it able to carry some luggage and do some trips and tours. It's got the engine for it. It's got all that kind of stuff. Some people say it should have a windshield. I don't personally mind the lack of a windshield. I've found that that just hasn't been an issue for me personally. Although I have a variety of bikes that I get to use through my work that I do this. So yeah, we'll talk about that. So I won't bury the lead here. The bags that I went with are soft bags from Kriega. Now I'm gonna explain why I did that. If you're looking at hard bags, I think you can stay on this video. I'm gonna talk about some options for you, and I'm gonna talk about why I personally didn't go for them, but you may wanna go for them. So I'm gonna cover all that and more in this video. Do me a favor, if you're watching this, it's wintertime. I do motorcycle videos primarily. The odd like, subscribe, anything you can do to help spread this video in the winter, that'd help me out. Maybe helps me to do more videos in the winter, and then I can get more stuff like this to you. So, first of all, every piece of luggage, everything you do on a motorcycle is a compromise, right? Like, I mean, you're choosing 2 wheels instead of 4. Days like today where it's rainy, or freezing rain anyways, you're not taking this thing out. It's a compromise. So it's the same thing when you're choosing luggage. You want to choose some compromises that work for you. So I had a few things that I had to have. I came from a Versys 650, which had the hard luggage standard, and I had a top box on that as well. It was phenomenal because it was lockable storage. I could take stuff anywhere. I could still fit a passenger on there with all the luggage, and it was just great. It was a really good bike, but I wanted something different, and this one didn't come with the luggage, but I kind of, like, once you have a bike with some sort of luggage, you find that it's just super helpful, not just for tours, but running around town, doing the basics, taking the bike instead of the car. So that was kind of my focus. Originally what I wanted is locking bags. I wanted something big enough to fit a helmet, you know, because that size works. I rarely actually carry a helmet, or at least I rarely did in my Versys 650, but that general size worked well for me. And I wanted something that had to be waterproof, and I'll explain that in a reason. And I didn't get everything I wanted in the solution that I chose, but like I said, if you start thinking it through, stepping back from just luggage and thinking about what you want to do, then you can start creating a system that works. The first part of my system is not what you expect, but it's been a huge piece of taking what I need around on this bike, so let's start with that. So the very first part of my system, and this was thought through intentionally, was this jacket. Now I've done this review in the past, and I'm not gonna zip it up because I'm wearing a microphone, but I wanna also point out that it's asymmetrical. The zipper is off to the side. I've done a review of this jacket before. I put the link in the description of this video so you can see the jacket. You can watch that video if you want. I did say in that video I'm gonna do a follow-up video, and I haven't done that yet. Short answer, I really like this jacket for me and for my purposes. But one of the reasons I like this jacket is its asymmetrical design has a large front pocket here. That front pocket is big enough to hold my iPad Air, my M2 iPad Air, and it also has some depth in it. And behind it, you can unzip stuff and put a pass-through. By being asymmetrical, it's a big pouch here. There's also a massive pouch in the rear, the same sort of thing. I can unzip these 2 sides and put through a whole bunch of stuff in the back all the way across because the venting pops down from here, the sleeves come off, and I have a fully vented jacket in the summer. It's in the winter months or the cooler months, I have a fully insulated jacket, or warm enough that it can be insulated jacket. And then it has large front pocket behind, zip in large front pocket, and then of course there's this elasticy pocket here, which is designed to hold the rain jacket for this, but you can hold a number of other things. It seems silly, but this jacket has prevented me from taking my luggage just about anywhere. And the key to one of the keys I wanted in my luggage is I wanted this bike to look 100% stock when there was no luggage on it. So this jacket allows me to do some running around, go to the store, check in on things, grab some stuff. Sometimes I have to take, it doesn't quite fit my MacBook Pro in here, but it does fit my iPad. I have a little foldable keyboard which can fit in any one of the other pockets, so I can do a lot of computer work where I need to go if I need to do some of that stuff out. So for my purposes, this jacket is the difference between either strapping luggage on the bike or taking the car. It's a simple little thing, but get a jacket with some versatility. Like I said, this is an Alpine Stars jacket. It's not super cheap, but it is a jacket that is one jacket to kind of do it all. It's vented enough that I'm comfortable. When I unvent it all, it's warm enough that I'm comfortable as well. I do have heated grips on this bike, which makes me able to go into the cooler weather longer. So this is a real key piece to my luggage, but you want to know what actual luggage I'm doing and how this bike looks completely stock, but it still has regular luggage. Let's talk about that right now. So the luggage I chose is the Kriega US 10. Now for most people I would say go with the US 20, and I chose the US 40. There's a 30 I believe, there's a lot of different sizes. The 40 has some unique things that work for me that may or may not work for you. But there's a reason I chose both these bags. So these bags have been sitting, or these boxes have been sitting in my garage for over a year now. I bought these quite a while ago, and I kept them because I knew I was gonna make this video, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna do this video until I liked the bags. I do like the bags, and I wanna show you why I chose these bags. Again, it's about building a system for me. And like I said, they're not lockable. That's something that I have to deal with. I missed that, and you can get lockable bags. If you are gonna go with lockable, the best ones I could find that I think, and that I almost was considering buying anyways, was the Shad luggage. Now the Shad luggage has a bar that comes off of here and kind of replaces this kind of area in here. So from the picture, and I'll try to throw a picture up on screen from their website, it shows this exact bike with that luggage, or almost this exact bike. It doesn't have the suspension. But the picture I'll show online here, it does have a good, clean look from the side. From the back, it's not as clean of a look. You can definitely see the bars, and it didn't work for me. So one other thing I should point out, this bike I did equip with a number of Kawasaki accessories. I talked about them other places, heated grips, that kind of thing. But the key one I put on was this chrome bar around the back. That's not standard on this bike. I put it on because, again, as I'm pointing to the pictures of the retro bikes that look like this one, the old retro ones had this bar, so I put it on to both match that look or complement that look and to give me luggage options, and it's really helpful with this bag. So let me show you what the features are of this bag first, the smaller bag, and then I'll show you the features of the big one, and we'll throw them on the bike and we'll show you how they work, and we'll help you decide if it's right for you or not right for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is just show you the general size of this, and then I'm going to go stand behind the camera, show you a couple different things, and then I'm going to throw it on the bike for you, and then we'll show you the second one, that kind of thing. So first thing first, this one has all the straps attached that will go onto my bike. You can kind of see them there. It also has the inside here, which I kind of want to show you. It's nice and white. Now I'm in a fairly dark garage. I do have some lights on. But that white interior is set up for that, for the one reason of, if I hold it up like this and I can try to get in front of the camera, you can see all the way to the bottom, or at least if I hold it at the right angle, you can see the bottom. And if there's anything in here at all, you're going to see it. So I like that white thing, that white interior. And the white interior does unvelcro, if I can get it out here, from the section there. So you can take that white interior out, you can kind of wash the outside, that kind of thing. I like the white interior because, like I said, it really does make it easy to see. And this is fully waterproof, and Kriega has like a lifetime guarantee or a really good guarantee. So you have that system there. Now let me show you how this mounts to the bike, because I think that matters. You can see right now it's completely clean. There is nothing different than stock, but there are some things I need to show you, so I'll show you that right now. So taking a look at the seat here, first of all, that's that chrome bar that, again, is partly style and partly, for me, function. I think that's useful. Now, again, Kawasaki designed this bike to have a specific look. And one of the ways they do that, and this is the compromises that they made, not only the compromises that I have to make, there is a little lock underneath here, and that's where the key is. So it's kind of a dumb area, but as we do that, lift it up here, the seat comes off. Now, as the seat comes off, this is an important piece to show you, because this is where everything mounts that makes it invisible to the outside. So let me just show you that. I'll pop these out in one side. Well, we'll get a little closer and I'll show you how we pop them out. All right, so what are you looking at? First of all, this bike comes standard with a 12-volt port. I have a USB port in there, and I just realized it's USB. Oh, good, it is ANC. I was gonna say, I don't know if I can charge my new cell phone on that, but it's ANC, so I just keep that in there. It works fine for me. These little tabs, you have to cut them to size, but this is what mounts to the frame rail right here. And you can see they can slide around on that frame rail. They can be where they need to be. I'm gonna pop those out. Once I pop those out, they have a little marker there on the white, so just so you can sort of see them a little bit there. Once I pop those out, I can put the seat back on. The only thing you gotta watch for is right here is where the rubber mounts, and there the rubber mounts, so you don't want it to be kind of over top of there. But once it mounts in there, no problem, you've got it kind of where you need it. And then we'll show you what it looks like with the seat on. So what I'll do is I'll come back to this, whoops, I'm getting my tripod stuck on the center stand there. I'll come back to this side here. You can still see my key still hanging there, my key tag still hanging there in the yellow. But this is the straps that we're gonna have. We're gonna put the seat back on, and we're gonna show you how much they stand out, even if I left them out. All right, seat's back on. I'm gonna take my key out of here. I'm gonna put that rubber plug back up in that keyhole so that when my wheel goes through water, it doesn't spray it into that keyhole and dirt and that kind of thing. So what's left sticking out is just these little tabs. Now, if I leave them out all the time, that's all you're gonna see. They don't bother me at all, but that's how you're attaching this bag. Let's put the first bag on. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set it down like this, just in place. Now these, of course, are gonna clip into different sides. Because the bag's empty, I'm gonna stick in just a little GoPro type case thing that I use for my microphones and other stuff, a little safety kit. It can fit quite a bit more. So again, this size, this 10-liter size, fits my water bottle, my laptop, and my lunch, those kind of things quite easily. So the basics of what I need. The reason I would use this is I can do my work in various places with this in there, but I can also, if I want to go out, take a couple water bottles, not have to buy water, take some food and lunch, that kind of thing, and some ice packs in there if I wanted to, because again, it is waterproof in there, so even if water leaked on the inside, it's not coming out, but ice packs are good in there too. So we've got a couple things in there, nothing major. Now you're gonna roll it like you would with a dry fit bag. Hopefully you can see it on camera there, yeah. So this is like a kayaking bag right there, and it clips down to the side. I'm using my watch as a viewfinder, so if you're wondering why I keep checking my watch, that's why. Just make sure you can see what we're seeing. Now there is a panel here that they call like sort of a document holder. You can hold papers in that side there, but we're gonna leave that as it is, and it's just sort of a thin panel up top. So that's how the bag goes. You can carry it around. It's got, I think, an extra strap there. And then what you do is these, you can see up top, are just sort of the typical clip. So what you can do is you can clip them into the bottom like that. And then you can loosen these off to various levels. Now I'm not gonna play with it too much. We're just gonna clip them on from the bottom. These ones might be a little tight for how they are, because it depends on how I had it. So what you can do is you can clip it in like this, like that on this side. We're gonna do the same thing down here. I don't have to loosen it just to get that in. And then you can cinch them tighter. This one's I'm gonna have to loosen a little bit, but let's just leave that one off for a second. The point is, once it's attached, it's nice and snug. It's not going anywhere, even with the third one off. And of course, you've got lots of room to adjust these, and you've got clips on them to hold the straps from flying around and that kind of thing. So this one I'd have to adjust a little bit more based on what's in there. It's a very quick adjustment. And then if you want to take things quickly and your bike's in a safe place, you just pop these clips off, you leave this clip hanging from the bike, and it's fine, because that's what clips into that piece that's down on the bike, right? So you can leave that on there if you want, or you can take it off, and then you can just carry your bag in. So for me, this is the perfect day bag. Now, there are some benefits to this bag. Let's talk about them, because I'm thinking about an adaptable system. Let's talk about that real quick. So remember what I said, I wanted to build a system of things. So this is just my day bag, but it can be used in a variety of things. Now remember, I rolled up this side here. The reason I rolled up the side on the back side of the bike is because I want a flush sort of side near my rear end. But that also gives me the option of clipping up this pin here, or using this bar underneath as an extra attachment point to clip it up with that bar round. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. If they're snug, they're not coming undone, but then I've got a 5th strap up here, which can go around along that rail and give it a lot of stability. It's not going anywhere. And if you see me jump on the bike here, on the center stand here, you can see it's easily out of my way. I ride like this, so I'm not even touching it, not feeling it, but if I do, it's just a little bit of my back. It's perfectly secure. At any time if I'm worried about it, I can kind of give it a tug and that kind of thing, but I know it's not going anywhere. Now, when you have a laptop or something breakable in here, you want to snug it just a little bit more loose because you don't want to break your laptop, depending on what's inside. But again, I've had no issues. It does have sort of a rubber bottom on it, which helps to grip the seat a little bit, so it doesn't have to be super, super tight. Never had anything coming loose, never had any problem. So when I talk about a system, Kriega has a backpack type thing made for motorcyclists, and it's basically straps that kind of come like a sort of X, they clamp together. It's a super, super solid system that you can ride in any kind of wind and any kind of weather, and their bags can clip to that backpack system. Now, I'm the kind of guy who does not want to take a backpack. I find it doesn't fit, like I just don't like them, and I find, especially on hot days, I don't want that extra heat of the, the back vent being covered up. So if I wanted to attach something like this to the backpack, I can do that. If I want to take the this is a 10 liter bag. If I want to take the 20 liter bag, I could get that as a backpack. If I wanted this to be on a tank bag or a 5 liter bag on a tank bag, you can get an attachment that goes around the tank and it can mount there as well. So these bags can be mounted to any bike just about. The US 10, when I said US 10 and US 40, US does not stand for United States, it stands for Universal Systems. So these are things that work on virtually any bike, and they work really well here on this bike. So I can strap it to the bike here, strap it to the tank with an attachment. I can strap it on my back with an attachment. I can get a 20 liter bag, goes on my back, goes on here, whatever I want. The next bag I have will not fit on the backpack tank, or, I mean, it should fit the way this one's mounted, but I don't find that it fits as well, and that suits me just fine. The other thing with these bags to know is that they are stackable. So the bag I'm gonna show you is a much larger bag, a 40 liter bag, and this one's only a 10 liter bag, so it's 50 liters of storage. You can get a 20 liter bag. So I could do 40, 20, 10 and have 70 liters of storage and really not have any problems taking it on this bike. At this point, I only have 40 and 10, so that's 50 liters of storage, and that's good. But let me show you the other one next, because it's a little different than this one, and it's what's gonna take the bulk of my luggage. So this bag is something that not everybody wants, but I thought it was a great option for me. It is just a tube. Most of the bags you're gonna get in this size, if they're 40 liter type bags, they will have a closed end on one side and they'll have an open end on the other side. The reason I like this is a couple things. First of all, both sides can close in. So if I only want to take 20 liters of stuff, and I'll show you how this works in a minute, I could strap it on exactly like this one's strapped on. It's got sort of pieces that roll around, and we'll show you all that in a second. But if I take a lot of stuff, then it can expand to a much larger size. That's important for me because some of the trips I go on, I may want to take a bunch of food or some, whatever else, or something that's going to be, maybe if I take disposable type water bottles, then as you start taking things out of here, you can keep it snug. Keeping it snug is a key to me to keeping it snug on your motorcycle as well. Nothing's going to flap around, nothing's going to have a big fold in it that holds water. And again, these are waterproof anyways. The other thing that's nice about this is as it sits on the bike, it's going to sit side to side on a bike like mine, and that means you can get to one side or the other side. So if you had like day use things, you could put it, when it's on the kickstand, sort of on the high side, your day use stuff, and the stuff you don't need to get to as much, you could put on the opposite side, maybe rain gear or something like that. So it's kind of a cool bag. It mounts a little bit differently, but then I'll show you here on the top, if I can get to the other side of the camera and get to the right spots, make sure actually I'll use my watch as the viewfinder. If I show you here on the top right there, all of these little clips around here are areas where you can attach the bag I have, a 20 liter bag, a 30 liter bag, so it's made to be stackable, and because you're mounting them on the seat, the bike can absolutely handle the weight, and it really doesn't affect handling that much unless you put a ton of weight on here, because again, this is gonna be a lot lighter than a passenger. Underneath the backside here, you can see just a little bit of a rubbery thing, not as much as rubbery as the other side, but that's also what's these wrap around the edges, so let's sort of show you, you can mount it a whole bunch of different ways. You can put a shoulder strap on it. Let's show you it mounted on the bike for a second. I've got a pillow with me because I don't want to put my garage stuff in there, and my wife's not home, so I stole a pillow from the couch. That's what we're going to put in here right now. All right, so what I've done is I've got this still on here, and this is the bag with one pillow stuffed in there. Pillow keeps it nice and light, and for me, nice and easy. Now, this side, what I did is I rolled it up and spun it around. I'll show you up close how to do that on the other side, but the top piece allows me to stick not this one here, a piece around here to clip into here, and I'll tighten it up a little tiny bit because I can do that. And if I can do that, there we go. So that's snugged up a little bit around the edge there. We'll worry about that a little bit later. So this side is closed now, and this is my open side here. If I wanted to, I could mount it on like underneath this on the bike like we did, but let's show you how I mount that. So let's bring you a lot closer now. All right, so this side closest to me is the one that I just did up. And you can see here, if I undo this, this panel can obviously curl closer in if I've got you know, smaller gear in there, or it can come out like it was. But the other thing is underneath this panel here is a space between the bag there. So if you had to take tent poles or something else, you could take your tent poles underneath this bag, underneath this piece, still have them secure underneath there, and then you can still mount things on top. If I flip it over here, you're gonna see that section there where I've got my clips over on this side. So there's lots of clips to attach things there. We're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna keep it this side up. We're gonna take this piece off right now, and we'll put this one on the bike, and then we'll mount that on top of here. So let me show you how that works right now. All right, taking the small bag off, pretty simple. You only have to do two sides. So you're gonna do this one undone and this one undone. So you can see you could leave those straps on there, but once you've done that, you can move it this way, loosen the secondary straps, which are right there, and you're good to go. Whoops, I forgot the back one that I did on the thing for the video. Don't always do that. And you've got that there. So when I talk about rubber back, it does have a panel in there, so you could put something in there if you wanted to, but it also is kind of rubbery. I don't know if you can see that panel here, kind of rubbery there. Hopefully you can see. And that's on the back of this one. So that's gonna give it some grip. I'm gonna set that down here against the wall, and we're gonna pull this one over to here. Now this one, we're gonna do this side up again with this right here. So hopefully you can see what we're doing here. Yeah, that's up like that. We're gonna roll the next side here. So I'm gonna try to do that in towards the camera here. Let me just see if we're in. Yep, we're good enough. So you can see the white side there. Same thing, that white undetaches. We're gonna roll it just a couple times here. And then again, this one rolls around to this way, clips up, or you can roll it another way if you want. So again, I'm keeping it fairly wide. I could keep it narrower if I had less stuff in there. So that's the bag, nice and wide. And it's, again, wider than the seat. So again, I could have packed it a little bit better. You can see it's kind of angled a little bit there, but none of that matters right now. So you've got these little clips up here, which can do all kinds of different things. You can attach things in different ways, whatever you want to do, but this could clip down exactly like it was onto these type of things, and you're good to go. But we're going to show you how this works with these clips right now, because I've got them into the side and the back right there. What we're gonna do is pull this around this strap here. Actually, you know what? All right, I made a little cut there. I'm not sure where I made it, so if my voice doesn't match up or my train of thought doesn't match up, I apologize for that. I had some straps that were set up for something totally different because I was using it for something totally different a while ago and I forgot about that. Anyways, what you have on the straps is this and this. Now the difference on this one is this could just clip to the seat, right? You could clip that to those panels and you could clip this into the bag. I have it set differently. So what I do here is I'm wrapping these up around, these clips here, back up to the bag. Whoops, let me just get that here. So again, you can find a bunch of ways that work, and I'm sure on video this won't make as much sense because I'm just trying to clip something in somewhere. But I'm gonna clip it in down here for now, so it's a little bit forward of the bag. And then I'm gonna come up here, pull it up, and clip it in here. We're gonna do the same thing with the other side here. Let's do with this longer one here. So again, we're gonna wrap through and around the grab bar that I have. And so we'll clip this one into the front. I'm probably gonna have to loosen it off a little bit. Yeah, went through the wrong way, there we go. And we'll come back over here to there, clip it in. We'll snug those up a little later. Same thing on the back here. We're gonna go through and around. So that means I'm gonna pull this out, get it longer, there we go. So same thing, I'm gonna just clip this one in here. I'm gonna come around the back, oops, gonna snug it down there, and I'm gonna put it into there. Same idea with the last one, just pull the strap out because it's got all these ties on here. I should show you that as well. It's got all these ties on there so they can keep these things bunched together if you need them. I'm gonna pull that out for a second. Pull it in here, run it around the rear rail, and I'm gonna wrap it. Oh, I got the wrong one here. So once again, I got the set up for something else. Let's pull it out and make it work. Pulling it out, clip it into there, drop it around the rail, back up, and we'll clip it in there, and then we can snug it up from here. Boom, you're done. Now the reason I like snugging it up front to back, sort of like that, is I can pull it to the backside away from my seat. It looks like it's kind of in the way of my seat now. I would tweak it a tiny bit, but that's how it's set up. And then, remember, I can just clip this one into here using, now again, it's off level because of what I have loaded in there, but I can clip this one into there, sideways, forward, whatever I want, using the same clips. So these clips here would clip into like that, and we'll do the same thing here, clip in like that, and you can kind of get the picture there. You can stack these on. So let's get a better view here. You can see what I'm doing. That one's still loose, but you can put the top bag on there. This bag I stack around the rail there. It's not going anywhere, side to side, up and down. I gotta snug it a little bit, but it's not going anywhere at all. So that is my basic setup, and it works. But let's talk about hard luggage and soft luggage and why I chose this and why you may want to choose something else. All right, the first thing I learned in this video is it's much easier to put luggage on straight and normal and correctly when you don't have to do it on video. So I apologize for the, like I said, less formal video of getting this on in camera. Just trying to whip this through while I got a little bit of time to do it. But let's help you choose the luggage system. Couple things that mattered to me. One thing I didn't get. I did not get lockable luggage. That's a thing that you have to definitely keep in mind. If you want lockable luggage, you have to go hard bags. You're probably going to ruin the look of your bike. Like I said, the shad bags seem to have the best look, but for me that wasn't good enough. And at the time I originally checked them out, the Olin shock piece here, there was some question about whether those bars that would hold on the hard luggage was going to work with the Olin's oh boy, preload adjuster, remote preload adjuster on this particular model. So remember, the Z900RS does not have that. It's only the SE model has that, but that was one of the things that caused me to pause and ended up with this. So I didn't get locking bags. That might be something that matters to you. If it is, soft bags aren't gonna work. The reason I went with soft bags is, like I said, can make it a backpack, I can make it a tank bag, I can put different sizes on here, I can put another big thing on here, and it really doesn't get in my way. Again, if I'm sitting here on the bike, I just don't notice it. And I can fit, at this point, 50 liters of stuff in there. So I probably wouldn't go camping, but overnight, over several nights, that's not a problem. I've got everything I need in here. And because there's a lot of ways to strap things to these, you could cinch and strap pieces of your jacket on. Like I said, the sleeves come off my jacket. I can put them in my jacket. I can put them in my bags. I can put all kinds of stuff in here and have some of the basics that I need. So for soft luggage, this small bag works for my everyday use. The big bag and the small bag works for going away. And again, it's adaptable. If I decide I want to do a backpack, if I want to do that, it all works. The key to me was keeping the original look of the bike, and this does that for me while giving me waterproof bags with a guarantee. Now, why Kriega? I want to point out, not sponsored. Would love it if Kriega wanted to send me some stuff. If Kriega was ever watching and they made it this far, which they didn't, then you can send me some stuff and I'll do a sponsored video for you because I do like their stuff. Kriega has a really good reputation of like replacing your bags if they have a fault. I think they're basically like lifetime warranty, that kind of thing, but it's like the best warranty you can get on bags. You could get Amazon bags. You know, this bike isn't super cheap. So I kind of wanted to go with something that was going to last and stay with it. And again, for me, the benefit of these bags is they will go on any bike I have in the future. So doing what I do, I'm never sure if I'm going to keep this for forever. If I went with an adventure bike, maybe it'll have hard bags. This still works over top. Next season, I'm going to be riding a lot of Can-Am products, whether it's the Riker, the Spider, that kind of thing. These will strap onto those products as well, especially something without a top box or top bag. I can take some stuff there. These are bags that kind of fit on just about everything, and that had some appeal for me, and it may have some appeal for you as well. You can take them for, you know, your ride. You can rent a bike somewhere, use this as your luggage, and go out and riding with this kind of stuff as well, even if it doesn't have all the bags you need. So they are waterproof. They are durable. They are more expensive than some options. I do feel it's worth it a little bit. They're easy to clean. The white interior makes a lot of sense. I've never had trouble finding stuff, even in dim lights when I've showed up late somewhere and I got to dig through the bag. It's good. And like I said, the only issue with a waterproof bag, if you're doing something like I do and taking like a computer, make sure, and I'm saying this from experience, that if you take a water bottle as well, you don't have it leak or you don't have some condensation. And that's, I think, one of the things worth pointing out is some waterproof bags will leak a little from the outside and then hold water on the inside. And if you're taking things like a computer that cannot be exposed to water, you want something that's actually going to be waterproof. And these are, I've taken them through some water, never had any issues. So for me, really good waterproof matters. The only thing to keep in mind is don't let your water bottle spill near your computer, and don't take things that could have condensation near your computer. But if you really need waterproof, these are good for that and really durable. So I went on a long time. I know this isn't the cleanest, best cut video that I've ever made in my life, but that's the bags I chose. Couple more things to look at if you are touring on this bike. I have the bike on the center stand right now. Get a center stand. It makes your life easier. If you're touring at all, you're gonna stop in places where it's softer luggage. You don't wanna have to like jiggle around on your bike with the luggage, getting it all fit perfectly, and dig that side stand into some gravel and have it go. If the bike's level, it's easy to get the luggage on right. Just makes your life easier. You can put two hands on it. You don't have to worry about the bike going over. I also threw heated grips on here. It's up to you, depends on where you live, but they're worth it to me. I have gloves that are insulated on the outside and pretty clean, thin on the inside so that I can feel the heated grips but still keep that wind off me. That's a good thing. Do you want a windshield? You can get windshield for this. The one thing that's a little underrated that is the Kawasaki accessory that I put on is a radiator guard. The front fender here is a little short. You do get some dirt up in the radiator. I just don't want a stone coming off my own tire into my own radiator, so I have that on there as well. Bike's set up for me for touring. I don't need the windshield. I like the clean air on my helmet. Throw some earplugs in. It's actually a great ride. Again, tons of power. Everything works. So that's what I did for luggage. That's how I make this into the touring bike that works for me. Are there better touring bikes out there? Oh yeah, definitely. But this thing works quite well as is. And again, take this stuff off, tuck those straps in. This is exactly stock, perfectly, without any options. And that was what I wanted. So there you go. There's a luggage video you guys have asked for a while, and I'm sorry it's so long. We'll talk to you in the next one. Please subscribe if you want. I'll shorten it out next time. Have a good one. We'll talk to you next time.